Right, I am going to pretend I know a little bit about the exciting topic that is activity keys. Right, I didn't even write that on. That's nicely written on.
Yeah.
And an activity key is that. Look at that. And you touch it, it comes on. We'll have a look at it in a minute. Right. So, what is an activity key? How does it work? We like to know how things work. Let me try that.
That's our job.
And why do you need one in your life? That's a bit trickier to answer. But right. So, an activity key. There's two types of activity keys. Now, the first generation of activity keys worked on basically a sort of near-field sensor. That's a bit of a touch. I don't like saying those words at the moment. But you know, like if you get an alarm key fob and you just sort of swipe it onto the alarm. I've got one on my wallet, but my wallet looks a bit groggy. Right, so I've got one of these things here, look, right? And you sort of go on your alarm and it unsets your alarm. There's no batteries in here, it's passive. It's just got some near-field sensor and it knows you're there. Now, as I understand it, and this is half made up, so bear with me. The old cars, like the Disco 5, it's not really old, but you know what I mean, compared to the Defender. It has got, on the rear tailgate, if you had the activity key option fitted, it had a little module right underneath the skin. Now bear in mind the tailgate on the Disco 5 is plastic, so it's quite good for letting signals through. And you could, what you have to do is you have to take your car key, put it in the car somewhere, shut the door, then go around to your boot with your wristband on. Now, that wristband didn't light up like the one you saw there. It didn't light up like a clock, but it was quite a sort of sleek-looking wristbandy watch thing. And you put it next to the D on the Discovery, and it would then lock your car. And apparently it would not only lock your car, it would disable the key. So the car could see which key was inside of its field of vision, as it were. And it would disable that one, bam, put the activity key. And I guess the idea was if someone smashed your window, grabbed your key, it would be no good to them. They wouldn't be able to drive your car away. Right? What you did was you did your kayaking, your rock climbing, your lifestyle stuff, and then you come back to your car, having got this wristband wet and everything, and then you go, put up next to the D, it would do this little near-field recognition thing and go, yeah, I know who I am, and go, right, I've unlocked and I've reactivated your key for you. I've looked after it, I've disabled it, but now enjoy, use, and then you would have to use your car, your key, as long as you just jump in the car then and press start. As long as your key's in the car, you'd be fine. Right, so that was the Generation 1, and they had that on the Discovery Sport, they had that on the Discovery 5, and so you had to have the hardware module in your back door. Now, Land Rover, when they launched the Defender, when I went to the launch event, they said, and I said, I want the Model S because it's like the base model and we like adding things to it. And they said, I said, but I like the activity key. And they said, yeah, you can have that. So I ordered away. But then, after I'd got it, I said, I want to add the activity key. And they said, no, you can't have that on yours because you haven't got the keyless entry. So on my car, you have to get your key fob out, wherever I put it, and you have to press the button. There it is. Let's have a look. So to get in my car, I have to use the key fob, unlock it, and then go up. But this is keyless start. This is what Land Rover call keyless start, because you can then, as long as you've got this on your person, you press the start button and you're away. If you've got keyless entry, you can walk up to the car with your key fob. It's got sensors around it. It recognises it. You pull the handle and you're in. But I don't have that. And some people were saying you needed to have keyless entry to add the activity key. But I don't know if it's true, and we're going to find out. Bear in mind, I've just got this, and I've just read some stuff. Now, the interesting thing about this second generation activity key, not only does it have a little light on it, when you look on the part system, and I'll put the little description now, there are two activity keys you can buy. One of them is, I'm going to get this wrong now, one of them is 433 megahertz, and the other one is something like 315 megahertz. Now I thought, I recognise these numbers. These are the numbers that the remote control key fob works at. So I thought, well, this seems to be a remote control. And I have a hunch that this is actually a remote control. So I think this, put my pen down, I think this and this are actually the same thing. Just what they've done is through wizardry and other cunning, they've shrunk this into this. Now, that's really cool, because what that means is, as long as you've got a car that can add, all I need to do, I think, is add a new key. And I'll just say, here's a new key, and we'll start to look at some of the features of the watch now. So, zoom in, Tyler, let's get in. So, first of all, if you don't touch it for a few seconds, it goes to sleep, which is obviously to conserve the battery. So, let's go that. And then what you can do is you can swipe up. In fact, have we got a cover on this, Tyler?
Yeah. Can never go back now.
Never go back. Right, there we go. Right, so there's your home, and that should be telling us roughly the time. Is that the time, Tyler? It's not far off, is it?
No, it's good.
It's good, right. So then we slide up, and then, see, you can't keep doing this, but if you touch it again, so we've got lock and unlock. So in theory, I should be able to press lock, and it should lock or unlock the car. So this is quite cool. We can slide up again, and I should be able to press that and unlock the boot. And I should be able to slide up again, and I guess that should put the hazard warnings on, and I can slide up again. George said last night it looked like a water droplet. What are you looking? What do you reckon, Tyler?
I think it looks like a water droplet.
Do you? And then if it goes to sleep well too quickly. And then if you go to settings, then you can set the time there. There you go. Oh, that's information. There you go. And that gives you some funky information, which is quite useful if you're seeing. You've got to be quick, though, Tyler. You've got to be quick. Yes. Photographic eyesight and memory. Right. So that is a little introduction of what we think we can do. And you can actually look up using the FCC ID number, if you're that bothered, on the internet, and it tells you who makes this for Land Rover, and it gives you lots of charts of their frequency, distribution, and how much. And it also, according to the charts online that you're not sort of supposed to see, it also has a 2.5 gigahertz frequency, which is wireless frequency. So it may also have, I think that will also mean this will work with the keyless entry, because I think the keyless entry works on a different frequency to the actual remote you press. Okay, so I think this will work with both cars. Now, right, when you order this from Land Rover, they go, here you go, you can order the watch, but they say, you can't just order the watch activity key wristband thingy. You also need to order yourself one of these. Now this is a box of wizardry and trickery, and it's known as a KVM, which might be a key validation module or a keyless vehicle module or something like that. But basically this is a little box, and I'm going to try and explain what I think it does. Now, a KVM module it's a little black book. It's a little black book with all the names of the people you want to invite to your party. So, and everyone that's allowed into our party is effectively a key. So if this key was called Tom, we'll call him Tom, don't know why Tom. There we go, Tom. And when you buy a car, you normally get 2 keys with it. So we'll call the other key Harry. There we go, we got a Harry, we haven't got a Tom, have we? Right.
2 Harrys. We
have got 2 Harrys, right then. So they're both, and this module recognises when you get the car new, Tom and Harry. Now, on older cars, you can add people. So we're going to add myself to the list. There you go. So I am now a new key. And you can teach a module new keys. Now I think they've got a limit on the older cars, how many keys you can add to the KVM module. And we've done a video adding it to the Disco 4. And this is quite interesting. This is where we're going to get to. So I think this wristband is a new key, right? And we want to add it, right? So we'll call him Wayne. There's not enough Waynes around these days. I don't even know how you spell Wayne. Right. So we'll call Wayne the wristband, right? Now, unfortunately, but fortunately, on these new generation of cars, you cannot just add Wayne into the party list on this module, because people were hacking the cars. They worked out how to add, and basically they were doing some trickery with computers and stuff, bringing along a key, somehow interfacing to the module and saying it, add Wayne, and then they were driving people's cars away, which is despicable and horrible. It really is horrible if you have your car stolen, and we don't want anything to do with that.
We do not condone.
Land Rover said, right, we've had enough of this. So when we make the cars, we are going to make it, and it's just going to have Tom and Harry. right? That's what it gets delivered to you with. This module is then locked. It cannot be changed, added to, deleted from, or anything. That is fixed. So when you buy a new wristband like this, you have to buy a new module, and the dealership will then, and it's only dealer level software, they will go in and they say, right, bring your old keys with you. So I'll have to take our 2 old keys and the new wristband, and on a new blank, so this is blank, so this can be written to. They will then go, right, we're going to put those 3 keys on, your 2 originals and the wristband will be learnt to that. And then I believe that this wristband will work. So I'm going to have to try and find myself a dealer. But this is the interesting bit. So if this is a 433 megahertz remote shrunk by Wizardry, thanks to Flextronics, who are they? Look it up. Can we then just add it to the Disco 4? Because I know we've programmed the Evoke keys to Disco 4 and Disco 4 keys to the other. So I think I'm going to try, probably all go terribly wrong, we are going to try and see if I can get this wristband, mini remote control, to pair with the, and if I can, that would be really cool, because you could buy these, you wouldn't need to buy the KVM for the older cars, because you can still add people to the party list on the old cars, and we'll see if it works. So should we, without waffling anymore, should we go and give it a try, Tyler?
Let's go.
Let's go. Right, so that was interesting. So we went and tried to program it on the Disco 4. I did film it, but it didn't work, so I'll save you watching that. But basically, it recognised it as a key, but somehow it said it was not compatible. So that key, that watch, is a sort of key. So I think I'm on the right track in that it is a key. It's not a proximity thing. The other thing we worked out when we were messing about with it was the water, wasn't it, Tyler? That water droplet, Tyler's worked out. What you can do is if you wake it up, oh, you got to be quick, and you slide up to water, and then what did you do, Tyler?
Just tap it.
Tap it. Oh.
There's a little tiny water droplet.
And that's locked now. So to unlock it, so I think this is so that if you're in water, the water doesn't activate the screen. Apparently Tyler's got a similar thing on his flash iPhone. Is that right, Tyler?
Yeah, on my Apple Watch.
On his Apple Watch, sorry. Right. But if you keep tapping it, you can unlock it. So now you see we're back to... So it's like a sort of pseudo-locked mode, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a screen lock, if you like, isn't it? Which is quite clever. But Tyler was quite reassured. He said, oh, if it's got water mode, that will be a good job because the Apple Watch does it well. So, right, we are back to plan B. Stop trying to do clever stuff, Simon. Stop mucking about. I'm hearing you. Right, so when you buy the watch, we're back to the Defender now, so they get this module. So this box of trickery is exactly the same as the box of trickery we've got in our Defender. So it's actually quite easy to get to and change. Now, it's hardly worth me doing it. If I plug this in, then obviously none of my keys are going to work and the car's no good to me. KVMs are not something you want to be playing around with. So we are going to have to ring up the dealer and say, look, can I... Anyway, we'll gloss over that bit, Tyler. They don't want to know all our troubles, do they? We will ring up a friendly dealer and we will see if they can. We will try and reassure them that it can be done. Can they change I will take my 2 keys with me. I will take my activity wristband with me, and I'll say, please, can you program the wristband? And then and only then will we be able to see, because Tyler's saying, well, will this new wristband, do you have to leave your key in the car and all that caper? Or is it literally a mini remote control? Now, obviously, you'd probably want to leave your key inside the car. Or would you just, if you were going on a trip of that nature, just take your watch with you? Don't know. So, and I can't find a lot online about this. So I'm trying to work it out to help you and help myself. Right, so I think I'm going to end that video now. That's part 1 done. Next time you see us, we will be at a dealership trying to convince them to put that in, plug it into Pathfinder, and replace my KVM module.